Nation, welcome to TRU Raider Podcast. Now, I am on my lunch break going live because we just had breaking news. Aiden O'Connell has been named the starter. Antonio Pierce just had a press conference and he said Aiden O'Connell is going to be the guy going against the Steelers. Now, he did not give any kind of definite for how long or what that looks like, and what his words were was that he doesn't ever plan on making changes, but you make changes when changes are necessary, right? And so Aiden O'Connell, and I've been talking about it, you guys, I've been saying it, that we need to bench Gardner Minshew, we need to move forward with Aiden O'Connell, and this is not because I believe that Aiden O'Connell is going to miraculously save our season and all of a sudden we're going to be able to just win out and go and win a Super Bowl. I'm not saying that, right? And I'm not one of those Aiden O'Connell truthers or whatever you may have it. What I see is that Aiden O'Connell, we need to actually just give some evaluation, right? We need to evaluate Aiden O'Connell and see if he's going to be a guy that's going to take a step up and maybe be a quarterback that's serviceable that we could use moving forward. We also need to see if Luke Getsy, if the offense still looks terrible under Aiden O'Connell, that tells me that Justin Fields, Gardner Minshew, and Aiden O'Connell, all three failed under the same offensive coordinator. Now, it's not like they're all superstar quarterbacks and it's very, very clear as day that it's Luke Getsy. But if you got three quarterbacks that cannot get it done under Luke Getsy, if it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck, then Luke needs to get the F out of here. Now, if Aiden O'Connell goes out and actually does pretty good against, hold on, I got text coming in, man. I'm going to put it on Do Not Disturb. Let me know if I'm coming in clear, too. I don't really get very good service at my work. But, yeah, so Luke... What was I saying? Anyway, that doesn't really matter, right? I see Raider Ryan, one of the moderators in the building. What's up, Raider Deb? We got Gunsmoke, Billy Davis. So another thing I want to say, man, is Devontae. I don't think that Devontae is necessarily staying, but you could see Antonio Pierce has no poker face, right? And his body language very much shows what he's feeling. When Devontae Adams, there's that whole drama going on when the trade was first coming out, and he was like scratching his neck, and he's like very, and his body language showed that there was something wrong. When Antonio Pierce announced Gardner Minshew was going to be the starting quarterback before the season, you could see his body language was like very unhappy. Now he's announcing Aiden O'Connell as a starting quarterback, and you could see him. He was lit up. He was smiling. His body language was very good. Anthony, salute. What's good? So yeah, I mean, what I see is that Antonio Pierce is very happy about the Aiden O'Connell thing. And then he said that he spoke with Devontae. They had a good conversation, and that Devontae Adams is getting healthy, and that he is still a Raider, that he was never not a Raider, and that he's going to play if he's healthy. Now, I don't know if this means that Aiden O'Connell's going in and all of a sudden Devontae Adams has a change of heart and is willing to stay. I don't know that to be true. I know that Devontae Adams is not going to want to continue to miss too many games if a trade deal does not happen, because he still wants his stats. And historically, players that sit out for extended periods of time, they do not do very well, right? Raider Ryan, it's almost as if AP didn't want Minshew, but why did he get the start? The reason why he got the start is because he was outvoted, because AP said that it was going to be a decision that was made between AP, Tom Telesco, and Luke Getsy. So that's 3 votes, and I think Antonio Pierce was the one that wanted Aiden O'Connell, and Luke Getsy and Tom Telesco outvoted him. I think that's what happened, man. I really do. Anthony, what's good? Salute to my dude, True Raider, and the nation. Believe me, not doing it at the right time. 3 losses. I'm starting to believe little. You know, I really like that the timing of the change, right? Because I was really getting worried that we were going to be in a position where they're going to wait until week 12 or, something like that, way late in the season. And then all of a sudden you can't salvage anything. And then he's just going in there in garbage time. What I want to see is one, can we salvage this season and still get to 10 wins, right? Because I'm still going to stand by that. I still believe 10 wins is possible. But are we going to do that, or are we going to be in a position where, um, you know, we go out there and lose, right? It doesn't really matter, because if Billy Davis, if we are 3-3 after beating the Steelers, all of a sudden we're at 500, and that's not too bad. And then that would be another win against an AFC team. Now we already have 2 losses in our division, which means that we need to really step up our game. We need to at least beat Kansas City once. We need to beat the Broncos. We need to beat the Chargers. If we cannot do that, it's not going to matter how many wins we get. Freddie Chavez, salute. Jeffrey, I hope AOC plays well. I think that he's going to win. I see a lot of people on the press conference chat that were saying, oh, now we're for sure tanking and all these things, and that's not the case. If we wanted to tank, we don't got to change quarterbacks. Minshew was doing an awful enough job as it was. And I'm not saying that Aiden O'Connell is going to make it to where we have a winning season. I'm saying that it's just something different. We need to do evaluation. Raider Ryan, I don't like how our organization is run. Mark Davis needs to step back and put a trusted, experienced partner to make difficult football decisions. I think that's where, if Tom Brady got to come in and be a partial owner, that he could really be that guy for Mark Davis, because Mark Davis doesn't have that, man. He just doesn't. He doesn't know football. He says he doesn't really, he doesn't claim to be his dad. So that's a big one, man. Anthony, what 9 people in here, only 3 likes, get them likes up. Yeah, let's get them likes up. That's what's up. Yo, what people miss is sometimes a backup quarterback can give the offense a spark. And that's the thing, Jeffrey, is that I don't think that Aiden O'Connell should have ever been the backup, right? I don't think that Aiden O'Connell is a starting quarterback in the NFL. But we failed to get a quarterback. And since we failed to get a quarterback, it made no sense to start Gardner Minshew. I get it. They were like, Gardner Minshew gives us the best opportunity to get a fast start, and he's mobile, and he's going to extend plays and all these things. And what he proved is that we're not getting that fast start. His mobility is not really extending plays very well. We're not getting good production out of that. And since we're not getting good production out of those things, why are we bothering, right? If, let's say, Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew are going to give us the same exact results, if that's the case, then we need to start Aiden O'Connell. He's a young guy, and we already know what we have in Gardner Minshew. Now, I'm wondering, what's that, Raider Ryan? Hit the 3 buttons up top to the right and hit that like button and support our boy TRU Raider. Hey, I appreciate that, Raider Ryan. I appreciate you. So, one of the things that I see is that if the fact that Antonio Pierce was willing to talk about Davante Adams really tripped me out, right? Because every time he's been asked about Davante Adams, he's just like, shut it down. He says status quo, and he shuts it down, and you'll have to talk to Davante Adams about that. And then today, all of a sudden, it's like, hey, we had a really good conversation, and he's healing up, and he's doing, he's making progress, and he's going to play if he's healthy. I thought that was very, very strange, because all of a sudden he's willing to talk about Davante Adams. So whatever conversation they had, it looks pretty good. Now, Davante Adams, there's been all these reports that went out that his camp has been looking for a trade for a while, and this and this and that the Raiders are looking to move on from him, that they're looking for a 2nd-round draft pick plus additional compensation. But nowhere has there been an official announcement from Davante Adams or his camp or the Raiders. We have not gotten an official announcement of that straight from the horse's mouth. And Davante Adams said during that whole thing, man, was if you don't hear it straight from the horse's mouth, it's probably bullshit, right? Now, I'm not saying that Davante Adams is going to want to stay now all of a sudden because Aiden O'Connell is named the starter, but Davante Adams did say really good things about Aiden O'Connell in the offseason. And you could tell that he wanted Aiden O'Connell to be the starter, and then that's not how it went. So this is really weird to me, man. And I'm just processing this information. I'm sitting at my desk. I got a 1:30 meeting coming, and I have the presser playing in the background. And all of a sudden, I hear all this information. I said, "Shit, man, I gotta go live." And so I ran out to my car real quick, going live. I got a meeting that starts here in 15 minutes, so I only got a couple of minutes to rock with you guys. Raider Deb, most of these peeps in the chat talk out their asses. All that fire AP shit is out of control. Yeah, I had to like block some of the guys in the presser because they were just overloading the chat, and I couldn't see what was going on in the chat, man. It's like, I get it. You have an opinion. You don't have to scream it at us. You don't have to spam us. Give us your opinion and then let it go, man. Let's see. AP didn't want to say anything until he knew was up. Raider Deb, I think you got a great point on that, right? Because he didn't have solid information, and so he didn't want to speak on it. But then all of a sudden, what you see is he's speaking on it, right? And now he's not giving exacts and solid information, and I like how he said Davante Adams was never not a Raider, right? He's still a Raider. And that's a really good way of putting it, right? Not trying to say like, oh, well, all of a sudden we're not going to trade him because we got Aiden O'Connell and weird things like that. It's like, look, are the Raiders probably listening to offers? Yes. Did Davante Adams probably say, I don't want to end my career like this? He probably said that, right? Does he want out? I'm sure he does. But is he going to be willing to just sit out for the rest of October waiting for a trade to happen? Probably not. He's probably going to want to get out there and get some stats. Freddie Chavez, hopefully we can get back to 500 on Sunday against Schittsburg. Now that we don't have garbage Minshew out there, I think that we stand a way better chance. I really do. A little thing that I'm worried about is Watt, man. Watt is just racking up sacks, and he's going to be gunning after Aiden O'Connell. He really is. Aiden O'Connell showed a lot of promise in this last game against the Broncos. He was being a lot more mobile. He was being able to get out of the pocket. He didn't make great plays when he did that, but he looked a lot faster. He did look a lot faster, and I really liked that, man. I think that Gardner Minshew's been sacked 15 times. I don't see Gardner Minshew being able to escape Watt any better than Aiden O'Connell. We might as well put the better passer out there. Raider Ryan, please stop with the 10-yard deep in the backfield screen plays on first and second down, along with the runs right up the middle with no push, leaving third and long all the time. Let's do this right. Yeah, we got run, punt, right? Dude, it's just been crazy, man. We got a Bronco fan up in here. I don't know why you want to be in here, but, whatever, man. Jeffrey, I don't know if Davante gets traded this year. It could be during the offseason. Derek Carr went down with an injury, and it looks like Aaron Rodgers is possibly going to leave the Jets at some point. And I don't think that the Jets is a good option for Davante Adams because he left from Aaron Rodgers because he wasn't sure how long Rodgers was going to be around. And then all of a sudden, he's going to go to the Jets where it's very unclear how long Aaron Rodgers is going to be around. Bad decision. Derek Carr did go down with an injury. I think that that's probably the ideal landing spot for Davante Adams, but I don't know if that's the ideal spot for the Raiders, right? Because we got to focus on who's going to give us maximum trade compensation, and that's going to be really the focus. Honestly, I got to wrap this up because I got a meeting to go to. So in short, what I'm thinking is that Aiden O'Connell is going to go out there and we get to make some evaluations. We get to see a different quarterback in this offense, and we get to see how much of a problem is Gardner Minshew, how much of a problem is Luke Getsy. Now, Raider Paul, AOC trash season over, see you next year. Gardner Minshew's trash. So does it really matter? I see all these people they're convinced that Gardner Minshew, garbage Minshew being the starter is going to keep us from having a tank season. Doesn't make sense. He looks like crap. He's not getting it done. Now with Aiden O'Connell going in, if he looks like crap and he's not getting it done, Okay, well then we're in the same predicament that we're already in. Minshew beat the Ravens. Yeah, Getsy is the problem, right? Aiden O'Connell going in gets to show that Getsy is the problem. That's what I've been saying. Go back to the beginning of the video. You'll see that's what I've been talking about. Now, if Aiden O'Connell goes out there and plays good in Getsy's offense, then that shows that Gardner Minshew could not execute that offense. I don't really believe that Aiden O'Connell's going to go in there and ball out, right? But if he does, what do we have to lose? What do we have to lose? Yeah, Steelers are going to get sacks all day. They're going to get sacks all day against Gardner Minshew. Have you not been paying attention, Raider Paul? Gardner Minshew has been sacked 15 times. He's tied for number 7 in most times being sacked this year. Just look at the stats, man. It's there. You know? Hey, Raider Ryan, salute to you, moderator. So we got another thing I wanted to wrap up is that there is a pretty good chance that Davante Adams might play against the Steelers. I'm not saying that Davante Adams is going to remain a Raider. He's probably still going to get traded, but it's starting to sound like, from what AP said, is that there's a possibility that Davante Adams might play. So we're going to see how this goes, you guys. I have a strong feeling that we're going to walk out of Allegiant Stadium on Sunday 3-3. Like always, nation, I love you guys, and I will catch you on the next one.